on page 9, item number 2, which is PR number 23732, is a resolution authorizing the acceptance of the response to a request for proposal from Salim Karab LLC for the leasing of 2 buildings inside the gated Pleasure Island Marina, and further authorizing the city manager to negotiate said lease. May I get a motion for approval, Councilman Kinlaw? So moved. May I get a second, Councilman Frank? Second. It's been moved and second that we would approve PR number 23732. Is ready for question. Councilman Doucette?
Yes, Mayor. We talked about this extensively. We've also had 2 presentations by the Yacht Club who currently been in the buildings. They've been in there for years. They maintain the building. They've brought 2 presentations to us. And when we discussed this, I thought we came to a consensus that we would have this individual and the Yacht Club meet to ensure that the Yacht Club was able to continue. After so many years of maintaining that building and for the costs and stuff, I don't see why we should up and try to pull the building from under the organization. After all the years they've been maintaining and paying the utilities and everything, there's not been a cost to the city, and it wasn't in an original agreement. I don't think just to pull it like that was the case. And I thought it's going to be worked out. But if the proposal here that I'm reading means that we're just going to lease this, we're going to authorize the manager to negotiate a lease with this company. That's what I need to know. Is that what this is about?
Okay.
Mayor, let me
no,
just
no, sir. Let me get all the remarks, questions. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. On November 7th.
Excuse me. Everyone's gonna get 2 minutes if you speak. So after you get past 2 minutes, I'm gonna stop you.
Yes, sir.
Go right ahead.
Okay. On November 7th, this council gave the go-ahead for us to go out for a second RFP. That's a request for proposals. That second RFP, the Port Arthur Yacht Club and Salim Kurlap's company both submitted proposals. At that time, council gave instruction for the RFP to be sent out for profit. The intent for the for-profit is for us to charge full market value rate for the lease of the building, in addition to having a company that would either sell a service or a product, so that we could also benefit from sales tax from the business that would go on in that building, where that tenant would pay full market value rate. Twice, the bid was out. Both times, Mr. Salim Kurlap and his company outbid the other organizations that submitted the bid. I do not want the city of Port Arthur to continue to be the type of entity that will dismiss our own process when it comes to us awarding a bid. That is not good business. It is not good business. To the benefit of the community has been the Yacht Club. I am not at all diminishing the services that the Yacht Club has provided to the city of Port Arthur over the years. However, they did not score the highest on this bid. They are not a for-profit entity.
Okay, excuse me. Your time has been expended. Councilwoman Beckham.
Thank you. After the meeting that Mayor Pro Tem just spoke of, we had an executive session where we spoke of renewing the lease with the Port Arthur Yacht Club. And we also talked about having a workshop where we would get the Yacht Club together with Mr. Karab to discuss whether they could have a partnership together to benefit both organizations. it's come to my attention since then that the Yacht Club does not want to enter into an agreement like that. So my position is, and I make a motion now, which is part of the benefit of the request for qualification or request for proposal, is that we can reject both of the proposals. So I make a motion now that we reject both of the proposals.
Okay, we're in the discussion right now. Councilman,
I'll renew the motion when we finish our discussion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Councilman Frank?
Yes. Again, we did have a sea change where we decided that we wanted to go in a different direction on the island. One of the things that we are seeking to do, and one of the things that we have a responsibility to do here as a council, is to make those moves and to do those things that would bring value to the island. Since I have been on council and since I've been a citizen of Port Arthur, I've heard countless numbers of individuals talk about what can we do on the island, what can happen on the island. And so when those opportunities now arise for us to do those things, I don't believe as a council we should go back. We shouldn't go back. We should go forward. I appreciate the Yacht Club and all that they have done over the years since 1965. But we did do what we said we would do as Councilman Deneen Beckham said. We said that we would give the opportunity for the winner of the RFP to allow the Yacht Club to have the building, use the building for their operations, and to do that. But for whatever reason, the Yacht Club has now decided that they don't want that. And they have made that quite clear with a post by the Pleasure Island Pirates that they don't want to partner in a private-public partnership. And so I think that as a council, we have only one responsibility, and that is for the promotion of what we do here for our citizens in Port Arthur. So I am in support of moving forward.
Okay. Thank you. Your light was, no, Councilman Lewis?
Yes, how did we end up with this on the market? Who decided to bid this out? Who decided this? How did we end up with this being bidded out for profit, whatever?
Initially, some of the Yacht Club members came to our office to discuss picking back up the original lease because it expired in 2020. And it was told to me by the legal department that you can't just renew a lease if it's been expired for however many years. So the correct process was to go out for a request for proposal.
Oh, that's what triggered it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But we don't have to, do we have to do this? City Attorney? Do we have to go to, you know, I met with the guy that he said, as far as he's concerned, the Yacht Club can continue to, and he's willing to work with them. They can continue to do what it is they do. It was not a problem with him. Okay? But I'm hearing something different now. So that means they may have to sign something. And they don't, that means also, it sounds like to me, they don't want to get locked into something. I don't know. So where are we on this?
Where you are now is before the council is a request to authorize the city manager to accept Mr. Corralt's proposal. Is your mic on? Which is, yes, and to authorize the city manager to negotiate a lease with him. There is no lease yet. There's a negotiation for it. You're just accepting his proposal and authorizing a negotiation of a lease.
Okay,
which you can reject.
So city manager can negotiate a lease with them? That's what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir.
Are you all open for a lease?
Okay, Councilman, your time is up. Okay, okay, see, city attorney, you've spoken. Now, everyone has actually spoken on this, except for, okay, no, but he's not a voting member. So yeah, okay. And his light is not on, he's not a voting member. These are for the council right now. And everyone has spoken once, and you've been allotted your time. So I'm going to call for the question on this. And
Point of order.
Point of order, sir. Yes, take your point of order.
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to make another comment based on a comment that was made, please.
Okay, you get 1 minute.
Okay. In reference to the comment made about the council deciding to do this for profits, I wasn't on the council then, but the last meeting this council discussed, as was stated, was in the executive session, and we clearly decided that we do a workshop on this. So if we're going to do a workshop, I don't see how we could come back today with this to approve this negotiation. The second thing is, I like to have the question answered in the beginning. Who decided that it should be for profits? You know, I mean, you know, where did the decision come from? You know.
Okay, on that, just to briefly answer, the council did. The council, where was the sitting council at that particular time when that came before the group? It was the council, the city council. Am I correct on that document, city attorney?
That's my understanding.
Yes, sir. So it was a council decision that the island would operate for a profit.
It came in the form of a resolution. Was a resolution requested by a council member for discussion? The reason I'm asking, right, I hear a lot about resolutions coming before council, but I have went back since 2018, and I've reviewed a lot of meetings whereby there's things brought before us, but there's no discussion. So I just asked a simple question. It's a simple question.
And I gave you a simple answer.
No, you said the council, Mayor.
Okay. Well, the time is important right now. Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, you had not spoken. Your light is on.
I did, but if we're off in another minute, I would like my minute.
Go ahead.
Okay. I want to be clear. This is on the agenda again because a bid was provided. The matrix has been provided to us. There was a person, an entity who scored the highest, and now we have to make a decision if we're going to award or not. We want to continue to grow Pleasure Island, which is in District 2, and I am in support of continued growth on on Pleasure Island. And I am looking forward to us continuing to provide the services that we have had with the Yacht Club, but continued growth for profit, full market rent rate, and we don't want to lose this company from not wanting to do business with us at all because we can't make up our minds on how we respect our own procurement process. So I'm asking that we please move forward and not continue to slow foot this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Just you have something else?
I just have, Mayor.
City manager.
I'm reading from the memo. I'm reading from the memo from the legal department. The Port Arthur City Council informed the legal department to proceed with issuing a request for proposals. That was on January 11, 2024. Request for proposals concerning the Pleasure Island Yacht Club. The council has requested an RFP to be issued requesting for-profit proposals. In summary, the City Council has requested the city proceed with an issuance of an RFP request requesting for for-profit proposals. Attached, please find the market study requested by the Pleasure Island Director. That was a memo that was issued by the legal department on January 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just a minute. You good? Okay, so you good? Okay. Trying to think of order. You just Councilman Becker.
Yes, and in the.
I'm sorry. It's supposed to be Frank. I'm sorry. You know, it's 1 minute.
All right. Again, excuse me. Again, we've done our due diligence. And when we talked about it, we said, and all council was in agreement, that we would get the two individuals together so they could talk, and everybody was in agreement. So now we've come to that point in that place where Councilwoman Beckham has said, and we have had an understanding that that is not what the Yacht Club wants. They don't want a partnership. They don't want to talk to the individual who is doing this. They don't want to be a part of that. And so I don't see where we have any more responsibility than that. We've given them an opportunity to talk. The individual has said that he would perpetuate a relationship, but I'd like to hear from them as to why what happened and what transpired.
Okay.
So that
let's give them a chance. Let's give them a chance. No. We're gonna run it by time. We're not gonna stay all night. Okay. Okay. Now, anyone else has something else? Someone in the. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Did you have another question for them, or another statement, a 1 minute statement before I go to them?
I just want to know what's on that piece of paper y'all passing around. Is that a resolution voted on?
No, that's what he just read. You can read it. Nothing private. He just read it. He was checking the date on that.
Is it something we voted on?
No.
It's just a memorandum. Or what is it?
It's about the RFP.
Okay.
My name is not on here.
So that's just why your light was on. Good. Okay, go right ahead.
That's my whole point, Councilman Frank. The last executive session that we had where we spoke about this, we said that we needed to have a workshop to get everyone together. This is not a workshop. This is a council meeting, okay? This is not what we anticipated in our last executive session when we spoke of this. A lot of things have transpired. Lots of conversations have been had behind the scenes since the last time that we spoke of this in executive session. So this needs to go to a workshop so that we can have the parties get together, and then we need to go from there. This is not the workshop that we anticipated.
No. City manager, after you. Take you touch it? No. Okay. Okay. I am alluding to what Councilman Beckham, I was trying to get to the city manager. Okay. Because I can
Mr.
recall,
Mayor?
again, in just a minute, we're going to give you an opportunity. When we talked about the groups getting together, that was a consensus, not to talk about what happened in an executive session, but the gist of a decision that was made was based upon those groups getting together. I know that I did say something about a workshop, and we said that we would get them together. Now, if the parties, that's why I want the city manager. Now, and Mr. Davis, to come up, please. And we could move on to something else. If we just relinquish the mic to him for a second, sir, and then I'll give you a chance to say something. Okay, what I am asking, and I believe I'm asking with the general consensus of this group, is it possible to get those groups together, both groups together, the developer and the tenant, the present tenant? Is it possible to get those groups together as expeditiously as possible?
I mean, that's something y'all have to discuss.
A discussion on this.
That's between y'all. I just did the process. He kind of just did the whole spiel just now. I did the process the way we're supposed to. So if y'all want to give Mr. Burton the okay to tell me to do that, I'm good with it. But
go ahead.
Mayor, we have the developer here tonight. Can we hear from the developer as well? I mean, he's right here with us. Do you wish, sir, to come to the podium?
Mr. Mayor and Mr. City Manager, we've been standing here for 10 minutes asking to speak.
Give you an opportunity.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you. You were asking. No, you said. Okay, so you all are with the Yacht Club.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a minute. That's all. Who is the developer? Okay, y'all come stand by each other. No, man, we're going to do this right. Because it doesn't have anything to do with someone disliking someone. And as Mayor Pro Tem is saying, we want to conduct business. Now, as the mayor, the presiding officer of this body, I just want to ask you all something. Is your group, sir, because we received something to the contrary, but is your group willing to discuss with this gentleman the possibilities going in the future for that property? It just answer us yes or no.
Asking yes or no.
Yeah, which one of y'all?
That's the first time from City Council we've been asked to do that formally, sir.
So you didn't know anything about that?
I've been given that opportunity to discuss it, yes, sir.
Okay, so
To answer your question, yes, sir.
yes, sir, you would,
Yes,
sir. Would your group be willing to enter in a discussion to see if an amicable solution can be reached on this property or inhabiting the property?
Yes, sir. So.
No, just yes or no.
It's not
Wait a minute, let me
answer.
do this.
Our
Yes or no?
company-
Yes or no, sir?
No, our company.
You're
doesn't
not
have-
willing to do that?
No, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You return to your seat. Okay, you can return to your seat. You've already told me you're not willing. Now, sir, you said that you all are willing to do this.
Yes, sir.
Right? Just a minute, just a minute. So, if you all are willing to try it, Met City Manager and attorney, is it any possible way that we can ask the developer, maybe not in this setting, to negotiate or see if if an amicable solution can be reached? Is that possible that we can't compel him, but maybe you can ask him in a different setting? Is that
I
possible?
think all you can do is either accept or reject.
Just what I just said.
Request
Okay.
is before you.
Mayor, call for the vote.
Okay. Yes, we call for the vote. Okay. Okay. Call for the vote. Okay. So what we'll do? We've already have to accept that.
Do we not have an opportunity to speak, Mr. Mayor?
Well, you asked me to call for the vote now. So, really, this is from the voting members now, not to ignore you. Okay, that's what I have to have. Come on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Brian Meadowcroft, 410 Pleasure Pier Boulevard, slip C7. I am the recent past Commodore of the Port Arthur Yacht Club, and in the spring of 2022, I approached the city via your representative, Mr. George Davis, to discuss renewing of the lease with the Port Arthur Yacht Club. We entered into discussions, and we came up with a draft lease that both of us, representing our organizations, agreed with. I was verbally told that that lease was sent to the city manager and to the city attorney, and after multiple months, I referred to Mr. Davis to find out the Pleasure Island director, to determine the status of the lease. I was instructed to reach out to the city secretary and to the city attorney to establish the status of the lease. Over a half dozen attempts via email and phone call were ignored. No response. None. No response to my request to determine the status of the lease. As of this date, less than 5 minutes ago, the Port Arthur Yacht Club has not received a formal notice from the city as to our status, despite multiple attempts. So, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you providing us that opportunity and the guidance to be in a discussion with the developer.
May I ask a question?
Just a minute. Let him complete.
You talk about growing Pleasure Island. We are growing. Our yacht club has had over 5,700 interactions on our page this month. We have developed a monthly junior sailing day, which has brought people who were unaware of what Pleasure Island has to offer out. Recently on Saturday, we brought groups from North Houston down to see the area. They would not have come if it wasn't for our outreach and our efforts. We are the growth that you're looking for. We are established. We have ridden out half dozen hurricanes. We're the only building on the island that's not housing that has remained. And it's our sweat and blood that has rebuilt the marina, has paid slip fees despite not having the services, gone above and beyond our lease, maintaining the building, maintaining the grounds, and assisting in the area and assisting in the advertising. If you turn around, you'll see a sailboat flying a spinnaker on your city logo. If you drive down 82, you will see a picture of a catamaran flying a spinnaker on a race that we put on 2 years ago. Our club is suffering, and our ability to assist the city in the growth is suffering from this. Our volunteer corps, who gives time and time again, is not developing youth programs right now because we are in here fighting for this. In October of 2022, this council elected to raise the slip rates to those equivalent to what is in Kemah, Texas. There was not a following raise of amenities to match. I sat down and had a face-to-face meeting with Mr. Burton and with Mr. Davis, and they said that we and our future was solid on this island. I question what happened and why we weren't giving any formal notice of any of this. I appreciate your time.
Drake Thibodeau, Slip C9, 410 Pleasure Island Boulevard, Port Arthur. Couple quick comments, and then several of y'all, been nice enough to talk to us offline. One quick comment, though, sir. A Facebook page that does not have Port Arthur Yacht Club does not represent a formal response. So whatever you guys are reading somewhere else, unless it's coming from our webpage, I'd probably ask you to maybe not take that into consideration, regardless of some of the feelings. Like Brian said, we did have a lease. If you look at the lease, it's 5, 5, and 5, which is renewable in 5-year terms each time. So we've had the opportunity to be able to sign, but we just haven't been able to secure the lease from you guys, and that's what we're asking. You guys want us to meet with somebody, we'll meet with them. I heard something, and I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody about a $2,000 donation. We gave $60,000 worth of volunteer hours, recorded, documented, that can be proven at any time. Each one of these guys right here, myself included, average $3,500, $3,700 a year per person that we're paying for slip fees out there. That's on top of going out and volunteering on top of that. We try to do stuff on the island. I know people from other sites, from other cities come in, and I know we want to focus on Port Arthur as much as possible. We're trying to do both. We're doing what we can. Everybody says bring revenue to the city. We try to do that. Take care of Port Arthur people. Try to do that. We had a young Hispanic family Saturday that came out, and I don't like to look sometimes, but you can tell they didn't have a lot of money. One of our members is Hispanic. He spoke with them, and the little kids, you could tell they didn't have a lot of money, but they were having a lot of fun. And we were giving away free lunch, and I think they got misinterpreted and they got scared. Dr. Seuss has a saying, or had a saying, I should say, in the world you may be one person, but to that one person you may be the world. We're trying to be that one person, and that's all we're asking. So thank you.
I'm Paul Vera, 3701 Russell Groves, Texas. Business. Y'all want business? Saline Court should build a building of their own on the island. We keep our building that we built. Y'all didn't pay for that building. Port Arthur Yacht Club built that building. Saline should build a building right next to the bathrooms that George has built. Simple construction. You want to do away with Port Arthur Yacht Club's building and give it to them. And God knows what's he going to turn it into. I hear jet skis. Put jet skis in the marina. Uncontrollable. You go to any resort, what do you see? You see a catamaran called a Hobie Wave. They're on a beach. Do we have a beach at the island? Yes, we do. It's on the other side. It can be developed. It's got a parking lot. You can launch and recover. You can do whatever you want right there. That's innovation. It's there. But you want to take from one person and say, hey, we're going to give it to them to develop. We've already developed it. We built it. Without Port Arthur Yacht Club, you would not have a marina. That's right. We built that marina from the very beginning. So, Tiffany, if you want to throw away part of Pleasure Island that's been there since 1965 and give it to a guy that as soon as he gets it developed, he's gone. He's probably going to sell it. And then that place is going to be like everything else. And look what you've got. Nothing. And by the way, here's the contract, the lease. 2015, I was a Commodore trying to get it done. Jimmy Dykes brought it to y'all, and y'all stonewall. To this day, it is 4 years late. Whose fault is that? That's all I got to say.
Gentlemen, I used to sit in a seat like you did, and you get down to the crunch time, and it's time to make a decision and move on. We often had a saying in Austin is that what we have here is a solution looking for a problem. And the whole question is, what is driving this? Why are we trying to get to this point? Do you not have any other empty buildings in Port Arthur? Do you not have any other vacant property? Even along the bulkhead there on Pleasure Island, there are lots of pads there for development. So why destroy one to replace it with one that's a maybe? Does this gentleman not get a contract from you and answer an RFP almost 2 years ago to make a purchase of the property across and to put in a water park and a hotel? Where is it? The contract to purchase the property has never even been executed. Earnest money has never been placed. I discovered through a title company friend that they were waiting for someone to show up with a check. It's never happened. So what's going to happen now? The same thing? Maybe that building will just sit empty like the rest of the empty buildings in Port Arthur. Please do the right thing.
You let me speak?
Go ahead, go right ahead, Councilman Frank. Your ladies first.
Again, and let me say this for the last time, is that we are talking about a $140 million expenditure of bringing a water park to Pleasure Island through a developer that will bring 600,000 individuals to Port Arthur a year. Now, I don't know if you all have a business. I don't know if you... Everything in life can be a maybe. You don't know if you're going to live till tomorrow. But nothing beats a failure but a try. And we have been trying to do something with this island. Every council before us has been trying to do something on that island. And so we're not trying to stop anything that you're doing. We appreciate what you do for the children of Port Arthur and to bring them out on Yacht Club boating. We appreciate that. But one of the things that I continue to say about Port Arthur is that we have not learned to walk and chew gum at the same time. And we can do both. If no entity ought to have the sole right to do anything. You said don't take something that's written on the Facebook or whatever. But we have a councilman who said that the Yacht Club no longer wanted to partner with Mr. Karab. Mr. Karab is a businessman, and we have to, in Port Arthur, be sure, councilman, that we are doing the things that say to those who want to come and develop in Port Arthur, you can get something done in this city. And it shouldn't take months and years to do it. We ought to be able to do business, especially when an individual has already won the RFP. Now you can go back and tell that individual you won the RFP for nothing. Well, what does that say to businesses that want to come to this city? That special interests run the city? Okay. What does that say to you? I'm over?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
About 9 seconds over. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to be clear that this is not an intent to throw anything away, and we're not giving anything to anyone else. This is an intent to continue to grow. No one, let me not speak for anyone else. My intent is not at all to say to the Yacht Club that you are no longer welcome here. We are saying that you will no longer have access to that building. I am more than willing to be able to continue to figure out how you can run your business most efficient, your programming most efficiently. At this point, we have to follow through with our procurement process, take a vote, and focus on the main thing of this resolution. The main thing of this resolution is, are we going to instruct the city manager to move forward with a lease with Salim Curlip, who won the bid, period.
Okay.
Call for the vote.
Councilwoman Beckham.
Thank you. I'm all for the development of Pleasure Island, and I've met with you several times.
Call
Celine,
for the vote, Mayor. May I call for the vote?
Excuse me.
When
Point of order.
All discussion
Point
ends
of
when you
order.
call for
No,
the
it's
vote.
not.
No.
Okay.
When?
Just
when?
a minute. No, just
It has to be approved.
Just a minute, but I didn't recognize you, Councilman Frank. Didn't recognize you. I was allowing
Mayor.
Councilwoman Beckham to speak.
Mr.
Okay, go
Karoff,
right ahead.
I've met with you several times, and you know I'm very supportive of your efforts to develop the island. My family developed the island many years ago. My grandparents owned some of the developments on the island back in the 40s and 50s, and I'm very much for that. But I'm also for what the Yacht Club has done, and y'all know that I support you as well. So I want one of you to come and speak just briefly about the things that you have had to cancel because of the fact that you are in limbo right now, because of what's going on with this
Point of
council.
order, Mayor. When call for the vote happens, all debate ceases. Look at Robert's Rules of Order.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Hold up. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I was giving Councilwoman Beckham.
Rule on my point, Mayor.
I had not even recognized you yet, sir. Just wait a minute. Were you through with your remarks, Councilwoman?
I requested that someone from the Yacht Club explain the things that they have had to cancel because of where they are in limbo with what this council has done, because we have not followed through with what we discussed in executive session.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to speak again. You can have a seat. No, sir. You can have a seat. Okay, all right. Councilman Kinlaw.
Thank you, Mayor. You noticed that I hadn't spoke on this at all, so I'm kind of like torn between how do we get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of hear the gentleman say those empty buildings that's in Pleasure Island as due to inaccuracy of council members before us. That may be true. But however, we're at this point that we decided to go into a different direction of how we wanted to entertain the island. For so many years, we were unable to get someone of that magnitude wanting to come in and invest in the city of Port Arthur. So, I did meet with some of the personnel from the Yacht Club and kind of got some insight, because I'm a 55-year-old guy and was never invited to go to the Yacht Club, even when I was a kid. So even my daughters went through Port Arthur ISD, never been given opportunity to go to the Yacht Club. And I hear some of the stories Councilwoman Beckham has stated about her relationship with the Yacht Club. But people of Port Arthur and all the gentlemen here that sit there, they gave their address. They're not from Port Arthur. So are we going to have a council that's going to look at and invest in the city and the citizens of Port Arthur? And I'm hearing the Yacht Club has been here, how many years? 60-something years? So, I mean, what are we here for? So I kind of sat back and listened to all the remarks of both parties, and and the developer saying he's not willing to talk, but we did give clear and decisive instructions that we did want to have a workshop. But what would we workshop on if one party doesn't want to work with the other? So we still back at this particular situation. So, maybe I'm just kind of reading more into it in this situation. But however, as a council member, we are here to make these tough decisions. Now, are we going to weigh a developer wanting to come to Pleasure Island, wanting to invest? Are we going to have the yacht club that really has a regional type yacht club that doesn't actually service majority of the students in the ISD of Port Arthur? Where are we going to go with this? Where are we going? I mean, the numbers, I look at the pictures, I visit with the personnel and kind of seen some of those photos of the individuals. They're not from the city of Port Arthur. So what are we going to do? That's the question that I'm asking myself. I'm kind of torn between, because I do want to see a lone existing organization be thriveful, but at the same time, are we going to weigh it against a developer that we have an opportunity to get development done in Pleasure Island? So thank you. I didn't speak at all, so I have
my assistant timekeeper.
Thank you, Councilmember Doucette. But that's why I wanted to kind of listen to everyone, because I'm kind of torn between this objective. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes. Okay. Now, Councilman Frank, we're going to call for the vote on this particular item. Excuse me. We're going to call for the vote.
Mayor, point of order.
Am I in order?
Mayor, I don't want to speak. I have a point of order.
No, but even with a point of order, but at this point, I call for the vote. We've had discussion for the past 25 minutes, and I've given and we've been fair about it. And I don't think it's now we either vote it up or down at this point.
Mayor,
sir, I'm in order.
Mayor, no,
not you.
Wait a minute, Mayor. Who made?
But let him talk. Am I in order?
I think the chair can call for the vote.
We call for the vote. Okay, we've already had discussion. Okay, we're calling for the vote, but we're calling for the vote, sir.
No,
calling for the vote. All in favor of this?
Mayor, let's not do this, Mayor.
Would you do a roll call vote, please, Mayor?
Mayor, don't do this.
No, but I have to.
Mayor, no, you don't.
Somebody, we're going to vote.
The only person can call for the vote is the person who made the motion. Who made the motion?
Man, it's been so long, I don't even know.
Well, you need to find out, because if Councilman Frank did not make the motion, he can't call for the vote. So don't tell me.
Councilmember Kinlaw made the motion and Councilmember Frank seconded it.
All right, so therefore he cannot call for the vote.
Okay.
We're gonna do it right.
I made a secondary motion to pull it, to table it.
The secondary motion had not been even second or even active. It wasn't. You just made that. But that motion was made in your dialogue, madam. Beckham. Yes, but
a secondary motion.
Secondary motion.
Man, I'm gonna call for a motion to
point of order. I made a secondary motion. Point of order.
Okay, so everybody call it for a motion.
Secondary motion was not seconded.
Again.
Yeah, that's just one right.
Secondary motion takes the precedent.
This is embarrassing. Can we have the city attorney give us instructions on what we need to do?
I keep asking him.
This is downright embarrassing.
Not really.
Well, I'm not embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed.
This is nothing here. I've had some worse meetings in this.
We through with the discussion. Any member can make a subsidiary motion, commonly referred to as second motion. At which time, if it's second, then it comes to the floor. The council will then deal with that motion. So after we finish the discussion, you call for it. She makes a secondary. We get a second. It's on the floor.
But what I am saying is everybody is giving their parliamentary.
Well, I just said that. Let's read it.
Well,
no, this ain't
show it to me. That's all
you book at.
You told me to go. It's in my office now. I said, go get it.
No, come on now, Mayor. Let's not. Okay, look here.
All right, that's why I'm asking the attorney.
No,
I'm asking. That's why I asked the attorney if we can call for the vote.
No.
He. Hold up, give him the check. You won't let him talk.
I made a secondary motion before the call for vote was ever made.
Yes, that's correct.
And therefore, we entertain.
That's correct.
Yes,
there was a second. Councilman Lewis seconded it.
I seconded it.
There we go. Come on, man. No.
Okay, restate that motion. It's been so long.
I move to table PR number 23732.
You gotta act on the motion she made. You can't change the
My secondary motion was to table PR 23732. I made it probably 30 minutes ago.
Okay, that's why I asked you to restate it. And you said Councilman Lewis.
I second it.
Okay, and what was the motion?
I motion to table PR number 23732.
Mayor, may we please have a roll call vote?
There we go.
Okay. Okay, so everybody understand? She is asking, it's been moved and second that we would table. Which one is it? PR number 23732. That we would table this. And they asked also for a roll call vote. To table.
Councilmember Beckham?
Yes.
Councilmember Doucette?
Yes.
Councilmember Frank?
No.
Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Hamilton Everfield?
No.
Councilmember Kinlaw?
No.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Bartie?
I abstain.
You can't.
You can.
You can't.
I just want to make people
No.
mad.
You have no conflict
No.
of
Know what
interest.
I'm
You're a
doing.
voting
No.
member. You can't abstain.
You have no conflict of
Our
interest. Mayor.
charter
can't
says
abstain.
you vote yes or no.
Okay.
No abstaining.
So would I vote yes and no?
Do what I don't do. At least you voted. Not abstaining.
Okay. I give a speech for I vote?
Just vote.
No.
If you don't have a
vote.
conflict of interest, it's going to be counted
Mayor.
as a yes vote or no vote. It's going to be counted. If you
Once
don't have a
Roll
direct
call has
conflict of
started,
interest, it's
there
going
should
to be
no
counted.
debate, Mayor. Come on.
Okay, I understand. I told her I'm
You better
burning up
leave.
my minute.
You better leave that Epsom salt alone.
Okay, I'm burning up my minute. Okay, on this, we're going to move forward. I would have to go in negative. Okay.
That'd be a yes or no vote, Mayor, just
Yes
for
or
the
no?
record.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the negative. Okay. All right. So, therefore, you tell us.
The measure fails to table the item.
Okay. All right. Now, so we go back to the main motion, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the main motion is the actual PR number 23732. And I think I've read it before, and we all know what that is. On that motion, we read it, and it's already on the floor, so we can vote on that. You want to do a roll call on that as well?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, go right ahead.
Councilmember Beckham? This is to approve PR number 23732.
No.
Councilmember Doucette?
No.
Councilmember Frank?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hamilton Everfield?
Yes.
Councilmember Kinlaw?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
No.
Mayor Bartie?
Man, if you don't do it right, that's all I'm telling you. No, I'm serious as a heart attack, and they kill people. Which one I was supposed to say?
No.
Yes. Okay.
The measure passes.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay. All right. And what we'll do is move to the next item. Which is, yeah, okay. Just let him talk and leave. Let him talk and leave. Let him talk and leave. Yes, sir. Thank you all. Okay, now, P.O.